Am I supposed to care? Oh my goodness. So if you guys haven't heard, there is this story that has been going rampant everywhere. And the story involves a CEO, a business owner, Vincent Ricci or whatever his name is. And he's parking at his house and he's about to walk inside his house. And he's accosted by would-be robbers. But lucky for Ricci, he has his CCP, right? Concealed carry permit. And he starts going pew, pew, pew. And the robbers flee. What happens after this, a little time after, is that we come to find out that little Ricky's CCP has been revoked. That's correct. It's been revoked. And what we then come to find out, even shocking, right? Even more shocking news is that little Vince Ricci believes that his permit was revoked due to yelling at LAPD for their shoddy work, okay? That's what he believes is the case or the reason for his concealed carry permit to be revoked. I just have to ask you one question. As a black man in America, why should I care? Can you give me one reason why I should care at all? How do I even know he's telling the truth? Has anyone looked into that? How do we know he's telling the truth? I'm just asking simple questions because if you're enraged right now, chances are you're probably a white conservative. Chances, a high chance, okay? High chance. But at the end of the day, me as a black man, as a commentator or whatnot, every single day, I have to, as far as fight for other people's rights to live, black people's rights to live. Whether it's Elijah McClain and people, all you racists, okay, want to talk bad about Elijah McClain. Oh, he should have just done this. Whether it's Breonna Taylor. Oh, she should have just been lying with pigs. Whether it's George Floyd. Oh, the officer didn't do it. Okay, whether it's Botham Jean. Well, you should forgive and forget. Black people have been screaming and hollering about what? Police brutality. And the funny part is that in this story, do you want to know how the racist right is spinning this narrative? How these white saltine bastards are spinning this narrative. It's the Democrats. We got to protect the country from the Democrats and California.
California government thinks my story is a myth. They don't think people like me actually exist. The leftist gun grabbers do not care about your safety. The NRA does.
What? What on earth do the Democrats have to do with this, Pimpin'? What does California have to do with this? This is a law enforcement problem. That's what this is. It wasn't Gavin Newsom who revoked his concealed carry permit. It wasn't California who as far as refused him to have a concealed carry permit. Because of California, he's the reason that he even has that concealed carry permit. To try and spin this to blame Democrats in California is ludicrous to me. But you have to understand the very simple-minded, low IQ base of the right will eat this up. Because as long as you're blaming Democrats in California or California, they'll eat it up because they're simple people. And the elites, the people who put out these messages, they know this. Because at the end of the day, there is only one group that you should be blaming. One group. That's correct. And that's called law enforcement. And what we need is police reform. That's the only group who's responsible for his CCP being revoked. And the fact, let's say you agree with him, because I always find it interesting that when, a white person comes up and says, this is what happens, I've been a victim, that no one does any due diligence. We don't know anything about Vince. We don't know if he's ever had any business complaints. We don't know what his record is. Has he ever been arrested before? Does he have a litany, a crime record of maybe a public intoxication, indecent exposure? We don't know anything about this man, other than that he's white and he said what he said. And that's all the media needs. That's all they need. Oh, he's white and he says this? Okay, he's claiming to be a victim? Let's go. And then to add on that he got a revoke due to yelling. Now, you want to tell me, be honest with yourself, okay, if you can. You want to tell me that if a black man or a black woman, hell, we can go with Philando Castile. If he had said, hey, they shot me because I was yelling at them, would you believe him? Would you? Of course not. If Breonna Taylor would have pulled over and she had a CCP revoked, and they said, hey, they revoked it because I yelled at them. With the saltine media out there, would they spin that as truth? Or were these mofos, these wicked people try and ask questions? Oh, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. She probably did something. That's not true. That didn't happen. But because we have little Vinny boy with his little white family, okay, now all of a sudden, oh, this is horrible. This is horrible. This is disgusting. We just take it at face value. Just take it at face value. But let's say, for sake of argument, we do take it at face value, okay? Let's say we do take it at face value. Now what? You're telling me that law enforcement completely trampled over your Second Amendment rights. Your Second Amendment rights, law enforcement trampled over that. And you want to blame Democrats in California. That's wild to me, bro. That y'all got a problem, okay? The right has a problem. And I'm so glad I left the conservative Inc. because they have a serious problem with bootlicking. And the best thing that happened to anyone was honestly the COVID, the lockdowns, because it proved to everyone just how much of a coward you guys really are.
Damn.
All these little incels and all these little saltines talking about, 1776, okay, all right? The reason I have this gun is because government tyranny. These mofos didn't pop one shot off, bro. Not one, bro. Not one. Not one. What did they do? They closed up business. They closed up shop. And worse, they took the PPP loans. You telling me you gonna take the handout from the government? All this handout. Oh, my government, can you please give me something, please? You told me to shut down my business. Y'all didn't do not a damn thing. Oh, I would think this would be the moment in time, right? All this talk about tyranny. This is tyrannical. This is tyrannical oversight. This is tyranny. And not one of y'all did anything. When I hear people talk about why y'all have the Second Amendment and key CCP and all this, you can miss me with that nonsense. I already know y'all are full of it because the government showed us how full of it you guys actually were. Y'all bent over and took it like everybody else. Whether you were a Democrat or a liberal or a libertarian, all y'all took it. That's correct. So when I see things like this, it reminds me of the problem, the boot that is shoved down the right's throat. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yo, we want to talk about police brutality, and then you have Sambos talking about we need citizen reform. I beg your pardon? How the heck can you praise 1776 while at the same time praising as far as a tyrannical enforcement group, state murder in many cases? How do you do that? How do you reconcile with that clear juxtaposition? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you because the only thing that I've always said is that when it comes to law and order, many white people, and listen, I know that's a sensitive word for you guys. I'm not talking about all, but many, how they view law and order, how they've come to view law and order is target black people. That's how they come to view law and order. Target black people. This stems all the way back from slavery days. Target black people. Hey, let's create an image for them of being bad so that way we can justify as far as the brutality that's done to them. Target black people. And that mindset, what I would say post-traumatic slave master syndrome, has followed us all the way up until present day. You don't understand that we're not an enemy. That's what you have to understand. The enemy, as far as the state soldiers, okay? The enemy are the state soldiers who locked you out of your business. That's who the state soldiers are. State soldiers are here who told this man allegedly, hey, we're going to revoke it because we don't like how you talk to us. That's who the enemy are. But you simple people want to make this a Republican versus Democrat. Y'all are missing it. Y'all are missing it. Regardless of who's in the White House, the state soldiers follow orders. They are law enforcement. That's what they do. That's what you don't understand. But you know what? Like I said, it goes back to why should I care? Because I don't. I don't. Because I'm sick and tired of hearing black people constantly say, hey, we need some police reform. This is disgusting what's happening, whether brutality, whether it's jumping and trampling our civil rights, and y'all put your hands in your ears and go, nuh-uh. Up until the point that happens to little Vincent Ricci. Now all of a sudden it's an outcry. Oh, this is a travesty, it's a travesty. And even when it's right in front of your face, you go and try and make it a Democrat versus Republican or California issue. Y'all are clowns. And I'm glad Ricci got his CCP revoked. I hope it happens to more white people. I really do. Because maybe if it happens to enough white people, if enough white people get brutalized by state soldiers, perhaps we'll get some police reform. Perhaps if Fox News, OAN, and the rest of them cover the brutality that's happening to white people in this country by law enforcement, by state soldiers, perhaps we'll get some police reform. Maybe. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know what you guys think. Whether or not you believe, look, this is racist. Okay, you're racist. All right, you just hate white people. Okay, it's this anti-white racism I'm talking about. I don't know what happened to you. All right, I don't know what happened to you, man. What happened to you? Or if you don't believe, I'll tell you what happened to me. I saw truth from evil, truth from lies, righteousness from wickedness. Okay, that's what happened. And the problem is, y'all can't do that. Y'all can't see that. And it's unfortunate, okay? And there's such a fragile group of people, and wicked at that, this is the state that we're in. This is the state of the country that we're in. And it's interesting to see. It's interesting to see. Nevertheless, if you disagree with this video, you're more than welcome to call in during disagreement days, which are typically held Friday through Sunday. There'll be a number on screen. You call in, we duke it out. Either or, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And until next time, guys, be amazing.
The NRA does.